This conference will now be recorded.
Now, as we have seen, when I click on execute in yesterday's class, we have seen we got the data in one of your container. Along with this, we have created your hotspot. Now, when the user has clicked on this, for this, I need the items to be gets shown over here. I need the items to be gets shown over here. So that is called as your interactive. That is called as your interactive. Now, in this interactive ALV, so what is the first step we need to do? We need to go ahead and create an event and assign that event to your method. So I'm going to use the standard events. So I told you in yesterday's class how to create that event and how to assign your event to your method. So now what I will do, I'll go ahead and create a method. Sorry, this is your program. I'll go ahead and create a method. Method get details. Get details. So now you will be passing uh, method get details. What is the syntax? I forgot the syntax. 1 second, guys. So we have creating the method, and then we need to create an event. And then we need to go ahead and create your event. So now how you are going to assign your event? For hotspot click. For sorry. Events are the actions that are going to be performed by your user. Now if I come here, so this is what for event, sorry, my bad. For event, this is methods. So that's the issue. The for is not working. For event, so what is the event? I'm going to use an event called as hotspot click in the class CL underscore GUI underscore ALV underscore your grid. CL underscore GUI underscore ALV underscore your grid. So I'm going to create an event. So I'm going to use the event. So see here, you will be having so many events. In that, which event I'm going to trigger? I want my hotspot click. So double click and you will be having your hotspot, or else come here and click on this search button, hotspot click. So now copy this event. So for hotspot click, for event hotspot click, of which class? Of CL underscore GUI underscore ALV underscore grid importing. So here everything is an exporting parameters you will be having. If I go here to my parameters, you will be having your E row ID, E row column ID, and ES row number. So I'm just going to have my E row ID, importing E row. What is the row? I'm going to fetch it. So now this method, I'm going to write your code. So where I'm going to write? I'm going to write my code method get details, and I'm going to write my end method. Just give me 1 second, guys. See here now. Now here you can pass only your row ID. You can pass only your row ID. Now where my data is there? My data is there in this ET underscore VBAK table, right? So this is a this is we are creating inside your method, which are nothing but your which are nothing but your which are nothing but your derived variables. In your subroutines, you have seen the global variables as well as your derived variables. So these derived variables will have your data. So whatever the data which is there in this derived variable, inside your start of selection, you will be getting this in your global. Inside your start of selection, you are creating this. But this is inside in your program, not in your class. Not in your class. Now, how can you get that? How can you get the data? How can you get the data into your class? So for that, what we will do, we will go ahead and create a data declaration. Data GT underscore VBAK, type VBAK underscore your T. Okay, now what I will do, whatever the data which I'm going to get this, I will also pass this to my GT underscore VBAK is equal to my ET underscore VBAK. So whatever the data which is there in my ET VBAK, I'm passing to my GT VBAK. Now this variable is there inside in your public session. Now you can use that in wherever methods you want. Wherever methods you want. Now what I will do inside my method, inside this method, right now where is my data? My data is available. My data is available in GT underscore VBAK. Now I want to read the data. I want to read the data of GT underscore VBAK for the row which I selected. For the row which I selected. Which I selected. How can you read the data based upon your row ID? Can you tell me the syntax? What is the syntax to read the internal table based upon your row ID? Either old syntax or new syntax, anything is fine. How can you read? So in the old way, how you will be reading? So how you will read the internal table in your old way? Read table. Tell me. Read table. GT underscore VBAK into data of ls underscore VBAK. Why I'm using ls? I'm writing the code inside my method. So that's the reason I'm using your local variables. Index. So based upon your index, I want to read. What is my index? A underscore your row ID. So whatever the index. So here you will be fetching your index. Here you will be fetching your index. Now, at the same way in your new code, how you will be writing data of ls underscore VBAK is equal to GT underscore VBAK of your E underscore row ID. That's it. That's it. So now you will be getting these details. Now, or else I just want my sales order number, because in the method, if I go back to my sales item details, I need my sales order number. So what I will do, I will go ahead and do this. I just want LV underscore VBLN, LV underscore VBLN GT hyphen VBELN. VBELN. Or you can go ahead and write the same way as value hash. Where is this? value hash value. So I'm going to write VBA ln underscore VA. I'm going to have this one and I'm going to say this as optional. So either you can also write this one too. So now this is the value which is of your sales order number VBE ln underscore your VA. Now in that I am going to trigger my VBAK, whatever the row I am going to select. In that row, I am going to select my VBE ln. In that row, I am going to select my VBE ln. Now do your pretty printer and let's get check this to see if there are any issues. No issues. Now activate your code. Now activate your code. So now what I need to get my item details. Get the item details. Get your item details. Now in this, once I'm going to get my item details, what is my method? So I'm going to say get underscore sales item. So inside my method, I'm calling this method again. So now what is my VBELN? LB underscore your VBELN. VBELN. And then you will be having your data of LT underscore VBAP. So now this VBAP is internal. I need to get it to my external. So what I will do, I'll go ahead and create one more variable for GT underscore VBAP type VBAP underscore your T. Now what I will do, I'll just go ahead and say this GT underscore VBAP. So instead of passing this, I'm just providing to my direct GT underscore VBAP. I'm not going to declare anything because the declaration has happened. One second. Okay, so I'm going to get these details. Now this GTVBAP is having your details. Now go here, and then after this, you need to call your method. What is the syntax? Set handler. So you have to call your set handler. So if I go here, so that is what I'm going to call you after this method call screen and create your object and grid set table for your first display. After this set handler of your class. So GO underscore. What is my class? LOCL, and what is my method I want to call? Get details. Set handler, whatever the method you want to call for what is my grid? GO underscore ALV underscore your header. GO underscore ALV underscore your header. Now this method will be gets called. This method will get called. Now if I say here pretty printer, and now let's get activate your code. Now if I go here and I'll just go ahead and put a breakpoint. Breakpoint. Now let's get activate. Now let's get activate. Now click on your execute. So you got your data. Now if I say click on this, see my method has been triggered. My method has been triggered. Now if I say F5, you will be having your VBALN, whatever the thing you have selected. Now I am going to get my details of GT underscore VBAP. Now where I need to write this logic. So in the second container, whether in PBO or whether it is in PAI. Why PAI? After your input. So now your output has been triggered. Now you are going to take this as your input. Now you are going to take this as your input, and that you need to provide that in your PAI. You should not write that in your PBO. You should not write that in your PBO, you have to write down in your PAI. Now, if I come here slash n SE38, where you have declared these data variables. So these data variables you have declared in your PBO. This will be available only for your PBO. You can't be able to get that in PAI. So now what I need to do, copy all these variables, and put that at your global level. So the data declarations. In your data declarations. Now, this you can use it inside your program wherever you want. Now, if I say check this, no issues at all. No issues at all. Now, what I need to do, I'll just go ahead and activate. I'll just click on SE38. I'll go to my screen and now I will enable my PBO. Sorry, PAI. Where is my screen? So I'm going to 9001 screen and now I'm going to have my user command. Now I'll just double click on this. Now if I say yes, in the main program, even you can write your set handler over here. I'll just go ahead and try to write this set handler over here. And now I'll put a breakpoint over here. So let's see whether it is going to work or not. Do your pretty printer. Let's just check this, no issues, and let's get activate. Now I'll go ahead and execute this one. My output will come when I trigger this. It's not working. Very good. So then the set handler will be there, must be there in your PBO only. If I go here and just copy this back and I'm going to put that over there. Control X. I'm going to put this over here. Over here. Now what I will do, I'll go ahead and write my ABAP code. We'll see whether your PBO will work, whether your PAI will work or not. If it is not going to work, you have to go ahead and write in your PBO only. Okay. So because this user command will not work as per my knowledge, because it will only work for your user command will only work for your back button, all these things and whatever the new buttons which you are creating on your application toolbar, not on your container, as per my knowledge. But let's see that whether it is going to work or not. I'm not sure, but from my knowledge, it will only work on your PBO only. But let's go ahead and try to write down that code. Now what I need to do, so I need to go ahead and initiate my container. So I have initiated my second row and first column and get container, and whatever my container I have got my details, and now I'm going to have my item details. So so I also got my item details. Now I need to go ahead and create my factory data. So Control C and just go ahead and pass this. And now here I'll pass this as my item. So here this is of my VBAP, and now this is also my VBAP, and I'm going to create it as VBAP. I already have my data. I already got my data with the help of your set handler. I got my data. Now I'm going to create my field catalog. I have created my field catalog. What is the next step? It's time for me to go ahead and display your data. So I'm going to copy the same thing and I'm going to paste it over here. Now I'll go here to item, set table for my first display, and VBAP and your VBAP. Now let's check this to see if there are any errors. Okay. So I got my data in my local class. So now let's check this. So here also I need to provide this go_LOCL hyphen this one. Now let's check this. No issues. Let's get activate your code. Now let's click on execute. You got your data and now let's click on execute. Your debugger has been started. F5. I got my details F6 and then F5 and then F7, F7. So it is not getting. Now the PAI is not working. The PAI is not working. So in that case, what I need to do, I need to go ahead and keep the code in my PPO itself. So I'm just going to write my entire logic. So copy this entire logic in your PPO. Control X. I'm going to paste that over here. I'm going to paste that over here. Just click on check and let's get activate your code. Let's click on execute. Assigning of your zero component. Go to your this one item table. I have my data. So I don't have VBAP. Why I didn't get any VBAP table? Why? Why I didn't get my VBAP table? Let's go back here. Here go to statement. Go to statement is also not working. Debugger. Exit my application slash ST38. I'll go to my change. Oh, okay. Let me put a breakpoint over here. Let's click on execute. Okay. F6. F6. Then your F6. Okay, I got the issue. Even I told you, right, this is first time even I am doing, so that's the reason. I'll tell you guys, just give me 1 second. I got the data. Now F8. I have the data. 6. This is not created. Okay. Why it's not created? Can someone can tell me why it is not created? If someone can tell me, I'll give you straight away 1,000 rupees. Why the data has not created? Why? We have created the object. Let me go ahead and see that. Okay, very good. I have not created the object for this. That's the issue. Oh, you got your 1,000 rupees. I didn't create the object reference. So let's go ahead and create that one. So if I go to change mode and then I'll go ahead and create my object reference for this. So create object. I thought I have created this. So GO underscore ALV underscore your item. Now, what is my parent container? GO underscore item is my parent container. I'll just go ahead and raise my exceptions. I'll just go ahead and remove this one, and I also remove this one. Now I'll just go to my pretty printer, and now let's check this to see if there are issues, and let's get activate your code. Let's get activate your code, and now let's click on execute. You got your data, and let's click on this one, and then F5, F5, F6, F6. I have created my object. Now I don't have this one, F6. Now my ALV has been created. Now if I say F8, you got your data over here. You got your data over here. Now in the same way, when you click on this one, again you will be getting the data of your 4975. So why I'm getting 4975? Why I'm getting 4975? So F5 LV underscore VBA LN. So 4980. F6. Here you will be having your 4980 only. So let's go ahead and see why it is coming up. And F6 4980, and then your GT underscore VBAP. So again, this has already been there, so I don't need to create this F6. So I have created this one, that's fine. And then F6 GT VBAP, F6 and F8. 4980 only it has to come. Why it is coming 4975? So why it is coming 4975? Go ahead and find out that one. Hmm? Clearing issue is because of clearing. So what to clear, you go ahead and find out that. What to clear, you go ahead and find out that. Now, what is my other requirement? So when the user has clicked on this one, it has to open your VA03. It has to open your VA03. So for that, again, go ahead and create a one more event. We got the details in VBAP also. We got the details in GT VBAP also. Why the issue is you're creating object reference for multiple times. So that's the issue. So go ahead and find out that why it is coming up. That's your assignment. Go ahead and find out that. But I have given you the solution for this too. So as it is doing it for multiple times, so this contains your data already. So this data has to be refreshed. So internally in this data has to be refreshed. So you go ahead and see how can you do that. You go ahead and see what you have to do it. Now the next requirement is I want whenever the user has selected, I want to go ahead and show you that. So in that case, again, I will go ahead and create one more method, get VA03, get underscore VA03. So now I'll go ahead and write this method get underscore VA03 and then end the method. Now I will go ahead and say, so what is my internal table? Data of LV underscore VBE is equal to value VBE underscore VA. Now what is my internal table? GT underscore VBAP of E underscore my row ID, and after this I need my VBELN, and I'm going to say this as optional. Now what I need to do, so for calling of your transaction code, what are the steps? How can you call your transaction code? Call transaction, that's fine. So we have to write the set parameter ID. So now I'm going to /o VA03. How can you find out your parameter? Just click on your F1. So go to your technical settings. So you will be having your parameter ID AUN. So I'm going to write the set parameter ID. Set parameter ID. So what is my ID? AUN. AUN. What is the syntax? Field LV underscore VBE. Then call transaction. Call transaction. What is my transaction? VA03 and skip first screen. That's it. Now so now this method I need to call. Again, you need to write your set handler. Set handler. What is my set handler? So the same code. I'm just going to copy this one. This is here. So set handler. So what is my method I need to call? I need to call get underscore VA03. VA03 for zero underscore item. For zero underscore item, let me go ahead and keep a breakpoint. So now I'll just say activate your code. Check this. Now no issues. I'll just say activate your code. Now I'll just click on execute. My debugger will get started. Just click on execute. Now I'll just say 4973. My debugger has been started. Now my details of 4973 has came up. Now I'll just click on this. Now one more breakpoint has been triggered. One more breakpoint has been triggered. So like that, how many triggers you are going to do? Those many methods you have to create for your event. What is your event you are going to trigger? Okay. So now if I say F8, it will open your call transaction VA03. It will open your call transaction VA03. This is how you have to work with your, see, this is how you have to work with your call transaction. Clear? Clear with this? Any questions? Any questions? So why it is facing the error? You go ahead and find out. Why you are getting the same value? You go ahead and find out that. Okay, you go ahead and find out that. You need to use one more method called as refresh all. You need to use one more method called as refresh all. Go ahead and find out that. You have to refresh your entire internal table. The data inside your internal table has to be refreshed. So go ahead and find out that one, which method I have to call. So I'm just letting you know, refresh all is a method. You have to call that refresh all. Refresh all. So it will just go ahead and refresh your thing. So you go ahead and find out that one. How can you do that? Okay. So now coming to your requirement. Coming to your requirement, I have created your splitter as well as your oops ALV. Now my requirement on your splitter container. So I need the selection screen, sales document type, create options as your select option and get the details. The tables which I needed are VBAK and VBAP, LAKP and LAPS, and VBRK and VBRP. Now I want my screen in 3 containers. So this is one container, this is another container, and this is one more another container. This is one container, this is another container, and this is one more container. In the first container, I want my sales order details, VBAK and VBAP. I want to get those details. I need a hotspot on my sales order number. When the user has selected the sales order number, I need to display the delivery details. I need to display the delivery details. I also need the subtotals and grand totals to be printed based upon your sales order number wise. Sales order number wise, I need the subtotals and grand totals. I didn't tell you about this. You go ahead and find out how to work with your subtotals and grand totals. And I also need a hotspot on the customer number. You need to get VBAK-KU and I need to have a hotspot on customer number. So how many hotspots are there? 2 hotspots. One is on your sales order number, one is on your customer number. So when the user clicked on that customer number, it has to display XD03 transaction code. It has to display your XD03 transaction code. Now, here the delivery details has to be displayed. When the user has selected the sales order number, it has to display the delivery details. Now, in this delivery details, I need a hotspot on delivery detail number. So on the delivery detail number, I need a hotspot. Now, here also I need your subtotals and your grand totals to be shown. Now, for that item number only, I need to show the corresponding invoice details over here. Over here. So here, the first thing is, I'm just letting you know, you have to use a splitter container and you have to change 2 rows and 1 column. And now the second row, for your second row, again you need to use your splitter container. Again you have to use your splitter container and you need to change this into 2 columns. So how many times you need to call your splitter container? 2 times you need to call. Okay. For the first time you will be writing your 2 rows and 1 column, and the second time you will be writing second column and into 2 rows. Okay, 2 columns and 1 row. So you have to pass this container into your splitter container. So in the first row, the call screen container will be passing in the first row. In the second time, you have to pass your the splitter container, this container into your splitter container. So that's way it will be gets into 3 containers. Okay, so this is what your real-time requirement. Now, the next thing we are going to see is your hoops ALB tree. If I want to display the data in the form of your tree, I want to display the data in the form of your tree, I need to go ahead and use this class CL underscore GUI underscore tree sample. Tree simple. So CL underscore GUI underscore tree simple. So I'm going to use this tree simple. In this tree simple, I'm going to pass my container, and again I'm going to use my grid. Now if I come here, so I'm just going to create my field catalogs, and then I'm going to create my container, and here I'm going to create my tree. I'm just passing the data, and then I'm going to display my details. So when you're passing this tree container, you need to provide your sorting. You need to provide your sorting. Now the sorting, on which fields you want to sort. On which fields you want to sort, you have to go ahead and sort on all those fields. Now let me copy this requirement. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to copy the same requirement. You go ahead and understand the requirement. So ZR9 AM, I'm just say tree ALV. Tree ALV, just go ahead and create this, and I'm going to take tree ALV example. Tree ALV example. I'm just going to take this as executable program. Just click on your save. Now I'm going to save that in your package as well as in your TR. As well as in your TR. Now I'm going to say this as no standard page heading. Now I'm going to copy my entire program. From here, I'm going to copy my entire program. So now I'm going to create my container. I'm going to create my container. Where is my container? So I'm just going to create my screen. Just say click on yes, and then tree ALV. I'm going to my layout. I'm just going to create my container. I'm going to create my container and I'm going to do this GC con. Save this, close this. I'll come here. I'll enable my view. Both of these double click on this. You go to your module status. I have already run. If I go to my PDF menu, I'll just click on here. I'll just go ahead and say menu, and now screen. I'll just click on continue. Guys, able to hear me? So it's clear. this. Let's connect to mobile. Just 1 minute. Guys, now it's clear. It's clear. Can you confirm? Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay, so I want to complete this one also. Guys, can you confirm me now? From my side, its speed and everything is good. I just checked everything. Okay. Now it's okay. So let's go ahead and see. Now, as I was telling you that we are going to see the tree ALB. I want to display the data in the form of my tree. So for each and every sales organization, let's take, I have a requirement. I want to show for every sales organization, whatever the sales orders that has been created in the form of your tree. So like this. Now, in my case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the data in the form of your company code, in the form of your documents, and in the form of your year. So now when you're using this, what I mean to say, the tree ALB, when you're going to use your tree ALB, you need to define how you're going to sort your data, how you have to sort your data. Now, let me go to my menu, and then I'm going to assign my function keys back. So now let me go to C38 again. Now I'll just open my tree. I'll go to my menu, and I'll just go ahead and assign my back button. I'll just go ahead and create this as continue. Now let's save this and activate this one. I just activated this button. Now for my back button also I have written the logic. Now I'll just go ahead and show you the title bar, how to create your title bar. So I'm going to say this as tree ALB. Tree ALB. So now I'll just say this as continue. Now let's go ahead and activate your code. At the same way, I need to activate my screen. I forgot that. So just click on this display list and right click over here and let's get activate. Let's activate your code. I have activated my code too. Now, if I say click on execute, see here the data will be shown in the form of your tree. The data will be shown in the form of your tree. It has to show you in the form of your tree. So here also I have used LVC underscore field catalog merge and I have created my merge. And see here, I have done my do sum also. I have done my do sum also. See here, the data has been expanded. Now this is my company code and this is my document number and this is my fiscal year. This is my fiscal year. So now the same document number can be have in your multiple years too. So first line item and second line item. So this is my one more document which has been created. So like this, we can go ahead and get the data in the form of your tree. So if I want to get the data in the form of your tree, then you will be using this tree ALV. This is how. So now see here, I'm going to get the details and then the first thing is when you want to use your tree ALB, I need to sort the data on which fields. So these fields will be shown you at the starting. These fields will be shown you. If I go here, so that's what I have provided you in the sort condition in your field catalog as well as your internal table. Now if I didn't provide this expand tree, if I didn't provide this expand tree, now if I say activate this one, now if I go ahead and say click on execute, see here, it's showing you the details. Now if I say this one, it will show you all the documents that are related to the company code 001. Now you have to manually expand each and everything. If I want to expand all in one single shot, then you have to use this method, expand tree. Expand tree. Now just go ahead and activate. The details will be gets expanded. The details will be gets expanded. This is how you need to work on your tree ALB. See here, the tree ALB, even I have created the container over here. If I want my top of page, you can go ahead and create your top of page as well as your logo. Now, the next and the last thing is your docking container. So what is meant by your docking? So you won't be creating your container. The main purpose of creating a docking container is to dock the container into the screen, i.e. we don't need to create a custom container. You just need to go ahead and create your screen and you have to call this docking container. It will go ahead and create your screen. So create object docking container and what is the screen number you want to provide and from which side you want to create your container. Which side you want to create, whether you want to create from your left side or whether you want to create from your right side or whether you want to create from your up and whether you want to create. So so from what is the length of your docking container will be told by this one. Now, once you have provided this and the remaining everything is your same. Just you won't be creating your container. You won't create your container. The container will be created by SAP. The container will be created by your SAP. Okay, so that is called as your docking container. Go ahead and try with this example. And if I am not wrong, the docking container is also not working in our system. So that's the reason I have given this example. That's the reason I have given this example. So if you want a complete about your docking container, I have given you a blog where you can get this. By this, we have completed your OOPS ALV. The next and the foremost things we do have something called as your classes. The next and the foremost thing we have something called as your friend class. The next thing we are going to see is called as your friend class. What is meant by this friend class? If I want to access the private attributes and private methods, to access the private variable of your superclass, the superclass has to be treated as a child, as a friend. The child class, the superclass needs to be treated as a friend. Then the child class can able to access your private variables. So to go to this, go to your superclass under the friends table, provide your child class and just click on enter, save and activate. Once we have done this, the child class can able to access your private variable of your superclass. Let's go ahead and see that. I'll stop after telling of your friend class. So now if I go to /n SE24, now if I go ahead and say GCL NAM super, I'm just going to click on create this. So super class. So as it is a super class, we don't need to have your final because we need to inherit that in your child classes. Now I'll just click on my save. I'm going to save that in your package as well as in your TR. So now I'm going to have my variable gv underscore variable level. I'm going to say this as instance, and visibility I'm going to take this as private, and then I'm going to take this as, let's take cat and cat. So that's it. I'm going to activate this one. Now what I will do, I'll go ahead and create my child class. I'm go ahead and create my child class. So now this is my child class. Now I'll go to, and I'll be saying this as final, so you can't able to inherit that. Now click on your save and click on your save. Now save that. Now I'm going to my attributes. I'm going to my properties. Now I'll go ahead and say my superclass. I'm going to say my superclass. Now see here, you won't be able to get your child classes. Now here, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste this as your superclass. Superclass. Now by default in the attributes, you can't able to see your private attributes. You can't able to see your private attributes. See here, you can't able to see your private attributes. Now let's get activate your child class. Now what I will do, I'll copy this one. I'll go to my super again. I'll just click on change. In the friends, I'm going to assign my friend class as my child class. Now activate this one. Now come back to your child class. This is my super. Now come back to your child class and click on change. Now I'm going to say get private attribute, and now I'll just go ahead and I'll say this as public. Now I'll go to my source code directly. I'm not going to provide my assignment. Now here, I'll just go ahead and create a reference. I'll just go ahead and create a reference, go underscore obj data of go underscore obj is equal to new gcl underscore nam underscore your super. Now if I come here, and then go underscore obj, and you can access your private variable. See here, the private variable you can able to access. So the private variable and private method you can able to access only via your friend class. So this is all about your friend class. Now I can pass the data over here. Let's take version. Now if I say here, if I go ahead and say activate, it will just go ahead and activate. You won't create any issue. See here, the program has been activated. Only the friend has a capacity to go ahead and see, to go ahead and to go ahead and get the private variables, to go ahead and read the private variables, the private attributes, whether it can be a variable or whether it can be your method. Okay, so this is called as your friend class. The next one, you will be having something called as your singleton class, and then you will be having something called as your wide casting and narrow casting. Wide casting and your narrow casting, that we will be seeing on Monday. By that, you will be completing everything on your classes. Okay, and then you will be starting something called as your SALV, simplified ALV. That's the main thing. I'll just give you the code for ALV, copy that and use that in everywhere. Just pass your internal table, you will get every data for you. It will get every data for you. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. Just copy that one. Okay, so whatever the requirement is there, just go ahead and copy that one. You will be getting those details. That's the most easiest part. By Monday, you will be completing all those narrow casting, wide casting, singleton class, and SALV. From Tuesday onwards, we are going to start it with your module pool programming. Module pool programming. Next Wednesday, you will be having your class, which will be an online session. Thursday, you don't have your class. Friday, you have your class on online session. Saturday, you have your class on online session. Online. Okay. Everything is on online the next week. Online session. Okay. Monday and Tuesday, I will be available. Even Monday is also an online class. Only Tuesday, I will be coming to offline for next week. Offline people, I'm just letting you know. So only Tuesday I'm going to come back. So the next, all the remaining days, it will be a online session only. Okay. So that's all for today, and we'll meet you Monday and we'll continue our session. Thank you all.